Hello and welcome to episode 30, am I right?
Yeah.
A big milestone episode of the franchise. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. I'm your host, Daniel Ehrenberg.
And I'm Henry Papali. Welcome, everyone.
Henry, I'm going to need you to pick up your energy.
All right. So I'm going to start off with a quote from Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
when Sam Jackson and John Travolta have just blown off Marvin's head in the back of the car.
Great scene.
Okay. And so it's Vincent and Jules. And Jules says something to Vincent that I'm going to say to you now. All right?
I'm ready.
All right. I will never forgive your ass for this shit. This is some fucked up, repugnant shit.
All right. Now listen, Henry, what was the movie? Didn't I apologize to you? Was it Matrix 2?
Yeah, no need.
Okay, listen. I'm not apologizing for this. Okay, so this week on the podcast, we're covering Home Alone 3, Home Alone 4, Taking Back the House, a TV movie. Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
And Henry, I did watch Home Alone 5, The Holiday Heist.
All right.
So I'll talk a little bit about that at the end.
Yeah.
But together, we will be covering 3 and 4. And that will wrap up the Home Alone franchise. We'll rank them at the end. But I'm not going to apologize for forcing you to watch these movies. And that's mostly because we had to cover those first two. Those were too important. I really believe that. I'm proud of that episode.
So am I. It turned out to be a good show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like maybe we could have established like a new rule or something, like just.
Oh, a real Bill Maher situation, huh? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, these are. I can't even. What was this for you personally? I mean, let's just we'll get right into it. Were these the worst viewing experiences for this show yet?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to hear.
But they were entertaining on some level, and I enjoyed that. I usually there have been very few movies that we've covered that I've never seen before. And I've never seen any of these. I watched the first half hour of Home Alone 3 around when it came out.
Okay.
And I shut it off. And I've never seen Hide Nor Hair 4 and 5.
Yeah.
So it was fun for me on that level because part of the way I came up with the concept for the franchise was I told you, we talked about this briefly during Friday the 13th when I was watching Friday the 13th by myself.
Right.
And I watched Nightmare on Elm Street around the same time, the whole series, both of those. And it was fascinating to me the places the series, like the studio decided that the series should go. It just such crazy decisions from movie to movie. And this Home Alone series is an amazing example of that. Because the first two aren't. They made a hit, and then they just remade the hit with the same people.
Right.
3, 4, and 5 are insane movies.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Just crazy that they exist. I shouldn't be able to go on the internet and watch these.
Yeah. I shouldn't have had to go to the library and check out Home Alone 3 and have the clerk look at me and go, "Oh, I never liked the first one." And I said, "Yeah, I'm not watching it for myself. I have a show that I have to watch it for."
Oh,
she says, and she goes, "Good luck with that."
Oh, she didn't say, "Oh, really? Podcasters turn me on."
No, the 60-something woman at the library did not.
Hey, 60-somethings can get turned on too, buddy.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just look at Susan Sarandon.
Sarandon.
Sarandon. I don't think anyone says that correctly.
My mom does. My mom says Sarandon.
Sarandon.
Yeah.
I say Sarandon.
Okay. Let's start, man. We got 3 movies to get through.
Yeah.
All right. We're opening with Home Alone 3. Yeah. By director Raja Gosnell, who I really teased last week that we'd be talking about this week. That's what people are back for. And written by John Hughes. Could you believe it? He wrote another one.
That was tough. That was tough for me to figure that one out.
Yeah, I know. Good Lord, had he given up by this point. Hey, it was released December 12th, 1997. By the way, the same weekend Titanic came out.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's a good choice.
Yeah.
This might prove to be our most giggle infested episode.
Oh, I don't want to. I need to cut that out if that's what's happening.
Oh, I can't help it. So
okay.
Whatever.
Budget of
everything
budget,
you say.
Yeah, budget of $32 million. Why are we giving this movie a higher budget than the second one?
That really is high.
Yeah. Box office of 79.1. It kind of made a little money.
I couldn't believe that.
It was mostly overseas, by the way. Tanked in America.
And I'm pretty sure that, I mean, I was an active moviegoer in 97. You know, I saw everything that came out that year. I don't remember this at all, like ever even existing.
I do. I was a fan of the Home Alone franchise at the time. I was 11 years old.
Right.
And I wanted to see it, but I was nervous because I was a real purist. No Macaulay? I can't deal with that.
Right.
We'll get there. But I still have more stuff to say, stat-wise. Wait, where were we? December? Whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I was going to say that it made money overseas, but that didn't really matter at the time. Like, this was a different era for movies.
Oh.
Like, domestic box office is what they courted. Like, overseas box office in 1997 was a bonus. Now, they actively make movies for foreign markets. They would not be making 6 Resident Evil movies if they were just judging the domestic box office gross. And there's a movie coming out in a couple months with fucking Matt Damon called The Great Wall that they made specifically to make money in China.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not going to make it with me, so, yeah.
Oh, and you're Matt Damon fan extraordinaire over there.
No, I'm not.
You love MD.
That is not true. I like Matt Damon. He has no special place on my acting hierarchy. Nah.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting you thought that, but no.
I did.
Gotta correct you.
Lucky number 69 in box office, Home Alone 3. And sandwiched right in between a couple of movies with the stars of Friends. Yeah, right in there. Number 68, Matthew Perry's Fools Rush In.
Oh, yeah.
I saw that more than once.
I bet.
And number 70, Jennifer Aniston's Picture Perfect.
Oh.
Yeah.
I remember both those.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't seen either.
I've seen both.
Yeah.
This Home Alone 3 won the Golden Raspberry. Or no, it didn't win. It lost a Golden Raspberry for Worst Sequel or Remake. The winner was Speed 2 Cruise Control.
Nice.
Yeah.
Can I just say, I have not seen Speed 2 Cruise Control all the way through.
I saw it in theaters.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it for the show, but there's no way that's a worse movie than this. There's just no possible way.
No, it's not.
Of course not.
No, it's terrible, though. Really bad.
Yeah, but there's terrible, and then there's, like, terrible. Like, Home Alone, the first one.
No, but Speed 2 is terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not as terrible as this.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, the first Home Alone was, I did not like, but it's on a whole other level, even production wise. I mean, you just don't even. I don't know. I didn't know what I was watching. I mean, it's really an experience, people.
Sure.
It really is. And I really was surprised at that John Hughes credit. I wasn't ready for that.
Oh yeah, he sat down at his typewriter for this bad boy.
Oh man. Yeah.
Now, could we talk about Raja Gosnell?
Let's do that.
Now, this is a guy whose film career I really respect. I'm not even joking. I think he's navigated Hollywood smartly. He's untalented.
Right.
No talent. None at all. He makes.
He's made some hits.
Never made a good movie.
But he's made some hits.
But he just makes hits, and every time one doesn't do that great, he follows it up. He knows how to navigate Hollywood. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm looking at what you mean.
So here's what we're talking about here. Let's go through his whole filmography.
Let's do it.
He was an editor. He edited Home Alone. That's how he got this job. Okay? He directs Home Alone 3. All right? Then he's like, I want to make something a little more adult, but not that adult.
Right.
So he makes Never Been Kissed, the Drew Barrymore movie,
where
she's pretending to be a high school student.
And pretending to be ugly.
Yeah, I know. Josie Grossi, right? That's from that movie.
That's realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1999 Drew Barrymore, the most fuckable human being that's ever existed. Sorry. He follows this up with Big Mama's House, the Martin Lawrence classic. All right?
Yeah.
That's a hit and a half. We're going to have to cover those movies. I've seen 2 of the 3. Are there 4? There might be 4.
Oh, Lord, I don't know. I don't know.
So Gosnell, I think, probably gets executive producer credit on those sequels. So
Sure.
good for him.
Yeah.
He follows this up, his first big franchise, not counting Home Alone 3. He does Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo. Follows that up 2 years later with Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed. All right?
Hi, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not a... that does okay. Then he follows that up with Yours, Mine, and Ours, the remake, with Dennis Quaid. I don't remember who the lady is.
Me neither. I never saw it.
That movie, I saw it. It did not do well, okay? So he's got his first sort of movie that didn't make money.
Right.
What does he do? I'm going to make a kid's movie. Goes back to the well, Beverly Hills Chihuahua. I remember seeing trailers for that thinking, this is going to tank. No. Big hit. Gets Drew Barrymore back to play the Chihuahua.
And who's the lead girl in that?
I don't remember.
Oh, I thought it was
someone in that?
I'll tell you right now. I thought it was.
Okay.
Oh, no, not well, okay. Piper Perabo.
Oh, the great Piper Perabo, sure.
I used to see her all the time at our old job.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you work at Coyote Ugly?
Yeah, I worked in a place called The Prestige, and she was.
Is she in that?
Yeah.
Piper Parabo's in The Prestige?
Yeah, she plays the girlfriend of Hugh Jackman, who dies during one of the magic tricks. Yeah.
She'd have to.
Yeah.
She's
Jamie Lee Curtis is also in this. Yeah.
All right. So Beverly Hills Chihuahua, he follows it up. Boom! The Smurfs.
Yeah.
Follows that up. Bam! Smurfs 2. I'm telling you, this guy knows Hollywood.
Yeah.
He's great.
You're right.
His next film, I say film, he is called Show Dogs. All right? No connection to Snow Dogs. But I see it's got Will Arnett in the lead and such luminaries as Ludacris, Stanley Tucci, Shaquille O'Neal, and that comedian Fluffy playing dogs. All right? So he's back to the talking dogs. This guy knows what is up.
Maybe we should get him to produce this show.
I think we should have him on. I don't know. Maybe sometime. When we do the Smurfs or Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, we'll have to have him on. I have some serious questions for this guy.
I know.
Mainly career advice.
I wonder if he'll have a racist Indian accent.
I don't know. He's commonly mistaken for being of Indian descent.
Is he not?
Nope.
What, is that a trivia on IMDb or something?
On Wikipedia.
Of course you're on Wikipedia, you fuck.
Yeah.
No, he's from Los Angeles.
Yeah, he's
All right.
not Indian.
Yeah, I thought he was Indian too.
Well, that's a reasonable assumption.
I made that common mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. He was an editor forever, too.
Yeah, he was working since the early 80s. Edited a lot of movies, including Pretty Woman, all right?
Yeah.
Mrs. Doubtfire. A lot of John Hughes stuff. I wonder if that's how he got the job.
Maybe 9 months. And
Yeah. Only the Lonely.
Yeah.
All right, we can't just look at IMDb. We got to talk Home Alone 3. Now, this movie has a very complex plot. I'm not joking. It's hard to follow at times, even as an adult.
I wasn't really...
You know you're in trouble when you turn on a new Home Alone movie. We're opening in Hong Kong in a military base. And no one can shut up in this movie about the missile chip.
Yeah.
All right? So there's a missile chip. You put this thing in a missile, and I guess it makes it a homing missile or something?
Yeah. That's fine.
So these burglars get it. No one famous, weirdly.
No, I recognize the Russian guy from a couple of, like, I don't know, I think he played a couple of Russian goons in some stuff.
He certainly did in a superhero movie. What's your superhero count?
Oh, I only had one.
Who?
ScarJo.
Oh, of course, a young Scarlett Johansson as the main kid's sister.
Yeah.
That was fun to see.
Yeah, she's my MVP.
I'm not surprised. So she's Black Widow. No, the main bad guy, the Russian guy, is he plays a Soviet captain in X-Men First Class.
Oh, I missed that.
There you go.
All
Fuck
right.
you.
Well, yeah, I figured on these two you might outdo me because my interest level was lower than a snake's belly, so it was very hard to get motivated.
All right. Well, I was very motivated.
Good.
Okay, so these burglars get a hold of this missile chip. Now, they put it in a toy car. Now, this thing is like the Tycho Mutant or something. Right? A Mutator, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Now, this was a real car that existed at the time, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, as a promotion with the movie. Now, I forgot to mention last week, we talked about Home Alone 2. He's using that Talk Boy the whole time.
Yeah.
I had one of those.
Did you?
Yeah. I was a big Home Alone 2 fan. Now, my parents were cheap, so they didn't give me the full Talk Boy. They got me this Talk Boy brand pen that you could write with, but you could also record stuff.
Well, that's kind of neat.
Yeah, it was all right. I used it a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're using right now to record this?
Ooh, yeah. I record all of my podcasts on the Talkboy pen. No, that thing's long since it stopped working. I wish I still had it, though, because that would be like I could probably sell that on eBay or something.
I bet you could.
Yeah. So they've got this toy car. This old lady on the plane. They're trying to smuggle it on a plane. She's got a bag of bread, like sourdough bread. They replace it with this car. I don't know why she didn't know that the sourdough bread all of a sudden was the heft of a gigantic toy car.
Yeah.
This is like an electronic car.
Yeah.
No, I keep talking about the car because it is the main character in this movie.
Shows up a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turns out the old lady, she gets away with the car, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the burglars have to figure out, they know the block this lady lives on, but they don't know which house she's in.
Right.
But see, there's a wrinkle in the plan. There's this kid, Alex Pruitt, played by actor Alex D. Linz.
You say actor.
He's better than Culkin.
What's I don't know, man.
I think so. Yeah, he was in that Max Keeble's Big Move. I don't know if you remember that movie.
That sounds familiar.
Sure. I always hated the title of that because you want to call it Max Keeble's Big Movie because it's a movie, but it's not. It's his big move.
Right.
That's a bad title.
Did you know that Roger Ebert gave this 3 stars?
Yeah, he says it's the best of the series.
Yeah. What was going on?
What'd you think about that?
I was mystified. I mean, I knew he didn't like the first 2 because of their, inherent cruelty. So maybe he liked this one because it's a little, although I don't know. I mean, it's not much less cruel.
No, it's not. It's terrible and just as cruel. If I was Chris Columbus, I would have knocked his jaw off. Oh wait, excuse me.
Jesus.
All right. Now this kid, he shovels the walks for the whole neighborhood.
Yeah.
And so this old lady has payment. She's sort of like an angry lady. She's basically the Marley or Pigeon lady of this movie.
Right.
And she gives him the car because she's like, I don't need this fucking thing. I wish I had my sourdough bread. And I'm like, me too. Sourdough bread's delicious.
Yeah, and cooler than the car.
Way cooler because it's from like a little shop in Paris, right?
Yeah, that's true. It's very true. No wonder she's pissed.
Totally.
Yeah.
So we meet this kid and then we meet his family. The family's pretty uninteresting except for the fact that Scarlett Johansson plays one of his siblings.
Yeah, it was just weird to see her. I guess she had already, what would she, like as a kid, as she had done? Had she already done The Horse Whisperer?
No, that was a year later. That was previously the youngest Scarlett Johansson I'd seen.
Okay.
But, no, she was in fucking Home Alone 3.
Yeah.
Looking sexy. ScarJo.
Okay.
I'm joking. She's like 12.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. Like, even when Scarlett Johansson, like, first started her acting career, it really wasn't until, like, Match Point where all of a sudden, like, she started playing sex bombs and everything.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Because, like, I remember seeing her in, like, Ghost World and Lost in Translation, and I wasn't just like, oh, she's just dripping with sex. No,
well,
she was just a good actor.
Lost in Translation, doesn't that open with that long shot of her ass, basically?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's like the whole opening credits. It's just like lingering on her body. So,
well, like Ghost World, I'm not even looking at her. I'm lusting after that Thora Birch.
Sure. That's a great movie.
It is.
Wish that had a sequel.
Me too. I'd love to talk about that. Well, we could talk about that more when we do Bad Santa, because that Terry Zwigoff directed the first one.
All right.
Yeah.
I like Terry Zwigoff. What a cool guy.
Great filmmaker.
Yeah.
Crumb. I think we've talked about Terry Zwigoff on this podcast.
I don't think so, man.
No? Art School Confidential. I've liked everything he's ever done. Louie Bluey.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know either of those.
Yeah.
But what I've seen, he did Crumb, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Sure.
I saw that in the theater.
Ooh, that's impressive.
Yeah, well, I had my artsy moments.
Sure. All right, so the kid, he's very little, isn't he? I think he's like the same age as Macaulay Culkin, but he's like a little kid.
Yeah, he's like a mite.
He's one of those kids that talks. I can't do it.
Yeah.
You know what he's a lot like? He reminded me of that kid, Justin Cooper, who's the little boy in Liar Liar.
Oh, okay. I was reminded of the kid in Jerry Maguire.
Oh, no, he's no Lipnicki. How dare you?
I just mean like a pint-sized runt.
Yeah, he is a pint-sized runt.
Yeah.
Or maybe even Jake Lloyd, Anakin Skywalker.
Oh, there you go. That's a good one.
Yeah, yippee.
Yeah, like tiny kid with a stupid-ass bowl cut.
Yeah, I could see this kid Alex Pruitt pod racing.
Yeah.
Tangling with Sebulba.
Sebulba. Wow.
Yeah, or Watto.
I can't make any Phantom Menace references.
What?
I can't.
I can make so many.
I know you can.
Midichlorians.
No.
All
I
right.
can't do it. I don't know it. Yeah.
I should say there's also 2 pets in the household that play real big parts in this movie. Okay?
Yeah.
And they are my MVP and LVP. Okay.
Oh.
My MVP of Home
Right.
Alone 3, they have a cute little mouse named Doris.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's
Doris
she's
gives a solid
adorable.
performance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
LVP, though, his brother has a parrot, and it's fucking annoying.
Oh yeah. It keeps talking and
Oh,
talking.
it talks forever. It's making poop jokes.
Yeah.
Oh, the first scene he's in, he goes like, bullseye! Or
Yeah.
something.
Is this the first show we've done where an MVP and an LVP are animals?
Probably.
And
But
it's
yeah.
not an animal film?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's my MVP and LVP for sure. Because no one else in this movie is notable. The characters are so thin,
Yeah.
and there's not even like fun actors. Like your MVP, Scarlett Johansson, just because it gave you that moment where you're like, "Oh, hey, Scarlett
Yep.
Johansson."
That's right. You got it.
But like, there's no one else like that. The parents are just like working actors. I was looking for anything.
Yeah. No kidding.
I was excited about the franchise crossover of this movie, though.
Uh-oh.
How about this? So, the burglars keep sneaking into houses on this block,
Mhm.
looking for this car, and the kid he's home with the chicken pox. All right.
Right.
Now that's how he's home alone. He's never home alone for an extended period of time, but like his mom will go to work.
Right.
And so then he's home alone for a few hours, which is
Yeah.
fucking garbage. In a Home Alone movie, I need the character to be fucking home alone.
Yeah.
And
you'd
by the
think.
way, after the second one, it doesn't really happen again till like the 5th one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because in the 4th one, he's not even in his home.
No, it's garbage. And he's not alone either. There are people all over that fucking house.
Right. Yeah.
We'll get to it. But so
And
this
he also has like one of the weirdest cases of chicken pox I've ever seen.
It drives me nuts. Because look,
Jesus.
yeah, he has some red spots on him. None on his face.
Exactly.
And every so often you see him like scratch his chest
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
But I had the chicken pox, Henry.
So did I, man.
I was sick as shit.
Yep.
I couldn't move.
Right.
It's not just you get red spots on you that itch. You're fucking sick with a bad case of the flu.
That's right. That's right.
This kid's running all over the place in this
I know.
movie.
Yeah, it's true. It's a very strange choice. I don't know whence that came about.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
This fucking kid. So this movie's basically like a remake of Rear Window for kids. Because he's just staring out his goddamn window using a telescope
Yeah.
and looking for these criminals. And he keeps calling the cops, and then the criminals get away before the cops show up, so they think he's like the boy who cried wolf kind of a thing.
Right.
And one of the cops, the main cop that gets most of the dialogue, is Scrubs and the middle actor, Neil Flynn.
Okay.
A great Chicago improv talent.
Oh.
And you may recall that he previously showed up as a cop with one line, freeze, and then got shot and killed on the subway in The Fugitive.
Holy shit. That's right. You pointed that out.
Yep.
That's right. Wow. Freeze, Kimball. Or freeze, whatever. Yeah. Interesting. Well,
How
that
about
explains
that?
his. Yeah, that explains his presence, I guess.
Because,
Right.
they both shot in Chicago, and Neil Flynn is a Second City guy. So
Right.
he's around.
Yeah.
This is pre-Scrubs still. That was his big break. He played the janitor over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Huh.
So I
Good
got excited
call.
about that.
Good pull.
There's also an Oscar winner in Home Alone 3.
Hmm.
Now,
Who's
this
that?
kid is a real prankster,
Yeah.
and I hate him.
Right.
There's nothing I hate more than a fucking prankster outside of a Friday the 13th movie, before you say anything.
I was just going to say that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where it works. That's
Yeah.
where you want your pranksters.
Yeah, I want a prankster over there at Camp Crystal Lake.
Or the ironic prankster in a Scream movie, something like that. It's fine.
I guess Jamie Kennedy is sort of the prankster in
Yeah,
the first
yeah,
one.
that's fine.
Now, so he's like a science kid. He's real into science. So he's always messing around with gadgets. So the whole movie, you're like, oh man, the traps are gonna be real Rube Goldbergian in this movie.
Yeah, sure.
And they kind of are, but like to a degree where the kid's just like a super genius.
Right. Yeah.
But before this, he's just playing pranks. So there's the lady across the street he doesn't super get along with, even though she gave him a free fucking toy car that looks like it costs $150.
True.
And he has like a remote control that works on her television. I don't know how. You remember this?
Good point. Yeah.
So he keeps changing the channel to like a music video station during while she's trying to watch TV.
Oh,
and
yeah.
she's losing her mind.
That's
and the
right.
music video he keeps putting on is a classic 1997 Jamie Foxx hit.
Ooh, that must have been bad. Yeah, what was that?
I don't know. I didn't know he had a singing career until like Ray. But
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude! When I worked as an usher, Jamie Foxx came to Heinz Hall not as a comedian, as a singer, and that would have been '97. How about that?
Did you get to see him perform?
I avoided it. I was working, but I was able to stay outside the hall for most of it. But all I remember is it was fucking horrible.
Yeah, he's still horrible as a singer and an
Yeah.
actor, by the way. But 1997, what? The Jamie Foxx Show sitcom is still going.
Is that what's going on? Okay.
Yeah, Booty Call came out that year.
Okay.
I saw that.
I did.
Yeah, I mean Jamie Foxx. Will we get to talk about him? Has he done a franchise?
Wait,
He's Electro. In
Yeah.
the Amazing
so
Spider-Man.
When we
2.
get to Spidey, we'll get to talk about him.
Yeah, I've never been able to stand Jamie Foxx. He can give a good performance, like if he has the right director occasionally.
I agree.
Michael Mann knows how to use him, kind of. He's good in Ali, even though that movie's terrible.
I agree.
And
Collateral.
Collateral, yeah. But
And I liked him in Ray.
he's okay in Ray.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're right.
He's made a lot of terrible movies.
Yeah, he really has to be specific for the role, like his personality.
I'll tell you,
Otherwise it
he's.
doesn't work.
I'm not buying him as the president in White House Down.
Forgot about that.
Sorry about that. Do love that movie though.
Yeah. Well, that's your guy, right?
That's my boy Roland Emmerich.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great movie. You should see it.
I think wait. I always confuse White House Down.
No, how dare you? I know what you're going to say. Olympus Has Fallen.
Yeah.
That's a piece of shit.
I
And
saw that.
Unfortunately,
I did not-
that's the one with the sequel, so we can cover that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't. I saw that one in the theater. Don't ask me why.
Yeah, why? Why would you
I
see
don't-
that in
I have-
theaters, but White House Down not at all?
I have no idea.
White House Down at least has my boy Channing Tatum.
Yeah, he's all right.
He's great.
You love Channing Tatum.
I do love Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
He's the
No,
best.
he's good.
He's so good.
He's funny in those 21 Jump Street movies, which we'll cover.
He's great. Oh, yeah, that's true. We can cover those. And Magic Mike.
Right. Still haven't
Oh,
seen
we can
it.
cover that, too.
It's true.
Ooh,
Franchise.
the sequel, no good. But
Yeah.
that first one, great.
Well, that'll be a one-off episode.
Anyway, Home Alone 3.
Yeah.
The
mean,
burglars find the old lady's house. All right? The kid is like, oh, I got to defend the old lady.
Right.
So he sends this car with a camera to try and catch him in the act. And he does a great job. He kicks the shit out of these criminals using only this car. And I don't understand this car. Kids must have been sorely disappointed after they bought this thing.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
this is the most incredible toy I've ever seen. It works anywhere. Like, you know, he's in like the across the street neighbor's backyard, and this thing's working fine.
Yeah, it's true. Usually those kind of toys, because we all had them.
They peter out after 20 feet.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
It's ridiculous. And it never falls down. Because that's the other thing. Make a slight turn with one of these toy cars, and you're on two wheels.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This fucker goes, and the chase goes on forever. It's honestly a third of this movie, is this toy car chase.
This movie was 102 minutes.
That's too long.
Oh. Just merciless. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's ridiculous. The criminals in this movie are as cartoonish as the second movie. And there's 4 of them for no reason. Like, it's hard for me to even follow who everyone is and what their personalities are supposed to be.
Yeah, because, like, 2 of the guys look identical.
Yeah, but one of them occasionally makes jokes. That's the only way I could tell them apart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It
I was like, oh,
hard.
that's the quote-unquote funny one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, 2 of the characters jump for the car at the same time. They bump heads, and the sound effect they use is like a coconut, you know? I enjoyed that.
Oh, man.
Weird soundtrack in this movie.
I'm looking at it right now because I was trying to see what that Jamie Foxx tune was, but
Sure.
He's not on there.
They're setting up. He's setting up the traps for the final sequence of the movie. You know the structure of these Home Alone movies. This one works exactly the same way. And while he's setting up the traps, the song that comes on is in an Oingo Boingo song.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Danny Elfman.
I almost made Mark Mothersbaugh my MVP. Is he in that? Is it just Danny Elfman?
Ooh, you got me on that one.
It's both of them. I don't know.
I didn't think there was anyone else in that except of note, but he could be.
Maybe I'm wrong. And then he's setting up more traps like the next morning, and there's this like pop punk band on, Cartoon Boyfriend, and it just sounds like Blink-182.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
With their classic hit "My Town."
Is that what the name of the song? Oh, yeah, right. I think they even say Home Alone in the lyrics. I think it was probably written for the movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My Town. I should have played that at the start of this.
Oh.
Meanwhile, the government figures out what's happening, and they're on the way to help this kid, but there's a snowstorm. So the kid has to fend for himself. Yeah. One of the government agents, played by noted actor Pat Healy.
Yes, right.
Yeah, of Magnolia.
Many things.
Rescue Dawn.
Many things.
A man I once spilled whiskey on.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Uh-huh.
How'd that happen?
I was at a birthday party for a girl that he may or may not have been sticking it to.
Okay.
And I was pretty drunk. It was at I can't remember the name of the bar. It's in like Alphabet City. And I got a beer and a shot kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And the shot, I like walked over, and the only place to sit was right next to Pat Healy. And I sat down badly, and I like poured the entire shot on his knee. And he was kind of a dick about it, but I understand why. I probably would have been too. He goes like, "Excuse me, what was in that glass?" And I said, "Oh man, don't worry, it was just." And then I realized whiskey, which is not great. And and he goes, "It was whiskey." And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Motherfuck." And we never talked again. So I ruined my chance to be friends with Pat Healy.
Oh, that's too bad.
Shame.
He's got quite the filmography, and also was in Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Hey,
I didn't catch him because he's not credited on the page as even being in this movie. So, That's how I missed that one.
Sure. It's always bothered me that the Matt Dillon character in There's Something About Mary is named Pat Healy.
Ooh, I didn't remember that at all.
Yeah.
Huh. Wonder why they did it. Probably didn't even know.
Probably not.
Yeah.
All right. So,
All right.
was there any? Did you like any of the traps?
No, it's all garbage horse shit. It's terrible. It's really stupid.
A guy gets electrocuted and then he farts. There's a sweet nut shot with a boxing glove.
Right.
That was pretty good.
There's a dumbwaiter featured. You don't see those in movies.
There's also one in the fifth one. The dumbwaiter makes a second appearance.
The dumbwaiter, probably the MVP of that one.
Sure. This one of the criminals at one point, he fires a gun wildly and shoots a pipe in the house, and then it rains poop on him.
Yeah. That was nice. It was good.
That was pretty good.
Good stuff.
Then there's another nut shot, and the criminal goes, "You smacked my winky." And the kid yells up at them, "You're not going to find me up there, you big, dumb, law-breaking knuckleheads." That's a great line of dialogue.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. I don't remember the winky line.
You smacked my winky. I wrote that down.
Smacked my winky.
Yeah.
Okay.
John
Hughes.
Now, this movie, part of the reason I used the Home Improvement theme at the beginning was this house is ruined. And in the second one, it was being renovated and like it's abandoned basically. The first one, the house doesn't really get fucked up at all.
That's true.
And then in this one, the house is being renovated, they say. So it kind of gives him permission, but not that much. It just looks like a normal house.
Yeah.
And
it's true.
Everything gets destroyed. Like there are villains falling through like 3 ceilings at a time. The poop floods the basement. It is ridiculous. So he manages to trap 3 of the criminals. The fourth one, the main one, he gets away, tries to kill the kid. The kid says, "You don't have the gun," and he's right. The gun that he has is like this thing he was like shooting like fake arrows with earlier.
Right.
But the kid doesn't have the gun either. It's a water gun or something. Or a bubble gun.
A bubble gun, yeah, but he scares the guy away with it.
Yeah, and he reaches an understanding with the old woman. The guy runs a few houses down, hides in this igloo that's there for some reason. And then we find out the igloo is wired with explosives, and the parrot goes over there on the toy car and blows up the criminal.
Yeah.
All right?
Pretty cool.
That's the end of the movie. And then we see all the bad guys in a little stinger scene at the beginning of the credits. They've all got chicken pox.
Yep.
That's cute.
Yeah. Yeah. They've all contracted chicken pox, so they'll no longer.
Yeah, and that's Home Alone
They'll
3.
also not be sick.
Yeah, I know. They'll be okay. They'll be itchy in jail.
Right. Yep.
All right, Home Alone 3. What are you giving it?
1 fucking star.
Me too. All right.
Oh, man.
Who's your LVP? You said your MVP is old ScarJo.
I'm going to go with what you said.
The parrot?
I think it's a fine choice. I mean, really, I guess I should say John Hughes. But, you know, that's fair. You know what? I'm going to go John Hughes.
Okay.
Because it's just, it's just like watching someone decay in front of my eyes.
It'd be a lot more literal today, though.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that. Yeah, like just maybe one of the worst examples of someone who just fell so far. You know? Oh, my God. Like, part of me almost thinks it was just his idea, and then he just handed it over to somebody to write. Do you think that's possible?
No, because all his movies in the 90s are like this, man. Haven't you seen Baby's Day Out?
No.
Yeah. That baby, there's a lot of nut shots in that movie. That baby manages to hit a lot of dudes in the nuts.
That's with your boy Vern Troyer.
Yeah, that's true. Vern Troyer is in that. Mini-me.
Yeah. I would have rather watched Goldmember.
No.
Yep.
For a second time?
Absolutely.
Not me.
100%. Yep. Throw that baby on any time.
Christian Toto will be so happy to hear that.
Yeah, he will.
Now, we're moving on.
Yeah.
Home Alone 4. Taking Back the House, as it's referred to in some sequels. I mean, some circles.
Yeah.
Directed by a fellow named Rod Daniel.
Yeah.
And that's what I call my dick.
You were waiting all day to make that joke.
No, I was not. I just came up with it.
Really?
Yeah.
Rod Daniel. He's actually made one good movie.
We'll cover him again twice on this podcast.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. That's a true story. Okay. Well, okay. We'll get to Rod Daniel in a second. It was written by Deborah Frank and Steve L. Hayes. I don't think anything important to talk about there.
Okay.
But this was marketed as a TV movie, aired November 3rd, 2002 on ABC, the mothership, the actual ABC. And it it was originally intended to be a TV pilot. They were going to do a Home Alone TV show, and all these people were going to be regulars in it. And then they decided, no, we're not going to do that, but we'll air it as a TV movie, so we need to do a quick wrap-up at the end.
I see.
Yeah. So they did a reshoot, just like that one scene where everyone's all happy at the end.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
the other two franchises, no, we're going to cover them 3 more times, by the way, Rod Daniel.
3?
Yeah.
All right.
Because not only has he made, he's made Home Alone 4, Teen Wolf, the original.
Yeah.
We're not even talking Bateman on this thing.
No.
No.
Fox Man. No.
And that's a good movie, isn't it?
I remember liking it a lot. I'm
nervous to watch it now.
Me too. It's been a long time. Yeah.
Okay, so that's
Beethoven?
franchise 1. Yes, he directed Beethoven's Second, which I have said on this podcast I can't wait to cover because it's the one where Beethoven saves the daughter of the family from being raped.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And he also directed another dog movie, Canine, with Jim Belushi.
Yeah, but I didn't think that had a sequel.
Excuse me, about 13 years later, they made Canine 2, also starring Jim Belushi.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. We should say he also directed The Super, which we referenced last week with Joe Pesci.
Yeah. Sure did.
And that's it. Other than that, he's had a little bit of a TV career, but Home Alone 4 was the last thing he ever did, and he died this year. He was part of the great 2016 boom.
Yeah.
But weirdly, I did not see him on any of the in memoriam scrolls that I watched this morning.
Before we tackle this movie, can you explain something to me?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I think you can. French Stewart.
Why is his name French? I don't know.
Why is he a person or a famous in any way?
I can answer that. I can answer that.
That's what I need to know. I must have been completely out of the cultural zeitgeist when this guy was supposed to be funny. I don't. What's the story? Go ahead.
His role that he's been making stuff off of for the last 15 years or so was Third Rock from the Sun.
Right. I knew that.
You knew that. Okay. Well, that's it.
That's it. It's that show.
Yeah, and I will say, I don't hate French Stewart in everything. Sometimes he's in stuff and they ask him to tone it down, and he's not bad at that.
Like this one.
No, he played like the president's chief of staff or something in that movie Dick, the Richard Nixon movie.
Oh, yeah.
And he's actually very good in that.
Kirsten Stewart, yeah.
No, Kirsten Dunst and Michelle Williams. That's actually a very good movie. Like, no joke. That's an actual recommend from me.
Yeah, no, I've never. Yeah, you know what it was? I was looking at French Stewart's name, and so I was like, Kristen Stewart. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Got it.
So that's why. So French Stewart in this movie is playing the Daniel Stern character from the first two.
Yeah.
Because what we're doing in this movie is it's all your favorite characters from Home Alone 1 and 2, minus Joe Pesci, but they're all played by different actors.
Yes. That was a very, very strange.
It was hard to get used to. Kevin McAllister is another shrimpy little kid.
And the kids just they're getting worse and worse.
There are, like, famous people in this movie, though. Like, more so than in the third one, weirdly.
Oh, really?
Aren't there? Like, I mean, French Stewart, for one, I guess.
Well, I recognized the guy who played Kevin's dad.
Sure. Kevin Begg? Is that his name?
Jason Begg.
Jason Begg, yeah.
Formerly of the Scientology religion.
That's true.
Yeah, I saw him in Going Clear.
That's right. Scientology and the Prison of Belief.
Right. Yeah.
He's still working, Jason Begg. He's a good actor. I knew him, of course, as the dad who's in a coma in Everwood, who Treat Williams cheats with his wife Anne Heche.
Okay.
Yep. But he's currently on Chicago PD, so he's making some sweet Dick Wolf money.
Well, good for him.
Yeah.
I mean, he had got out of that, cult and didn't have his career ruined, so that's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Other actors I recognize in this movie include Missy Pyle.
Yeah, I recognize
as French
her too.
Stewart's wife, Vera.
Yeah.
She's been around forever. You'd know her if you saw her.
Yeah, yeah.
She's one of these people you get in a movie where it's like, we need, like, a villainous woman, like a bitch, and we need her to be ugly, but since it's a movie, she has to actually be pretty hot.
Yeah, the funny thing was I recognized her from something unlikely, and that was Gone Girl.
That's true, yeah, she does.
She plays like the Nancy Grace type attorney on TV. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
C. Pyle.
The wife, Kate McAllister, the old Catherine O'Hara role, now played by Claire Carey, and she's who you get if you want a real sad mother with a wet face.
Yeah, boy,
that face is just glistening with tears this entire movie.
She is not a happy person.
No. I know her from the classic 8-episode and then canceled TV show Point Pleasant.
Oh, never heard of it.
There you go. Check it out.
That take place in Point Pleasant, New Jersey?
It did.
Oh, that was just a guess.
No, it did. Everyone's way too hot for it, though. It's such an attractive cast in that movie. Like, Claire Carey's the least attractive, but only because she's got tears on her face the entire time.
Oh, she's crying in that one,
Oh,
too.
That's what she does. Everything I've ever seen Claire Carey, and she's just a sad mom.
Maybe she has an allergy to air or something,
To cameras. Maybe in real life she's a very happy person.
Yeah, it's true. The cameras start rolling, she starts crying.
Yeah. And lastly, I will... Oh, wait, no, there's more. This movie's packed with actors I know.
Yeah.
Gideon Jacobs is a kid who plays Buzz McAllister in this movie. My favorite character, of course, Buzz.
Fuck was he
And
in?
he's a poor choice for Buzz, this kid, because he's too likable.
He's lousy.
He is the little boy that becomes Molly Shannon's therapist in Wet Hot American Summer.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's right.
All right.
The greatest
God.
comedy ever made.
Yeah.
And lastly, the possibly villainous butler. Yes, there's a butler in this movie, played by Eric Avery, and I really enjoyed him because the first time we see him in this movie, he's at a surveillance monitor and he's sleeping, and then he's jarred awake, and he's like, "What's going on?" You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
That is also how his character in Independence Day is introduced.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ain't that something?
Yeah.
He's had a big TV career.
Oh, he's been in everything. He's
Yeah.
one of these guys with like ambiguous race. So
Right.
like he can play like an Indian guy or a Middle Eastern guy. He doesn't give
Yeah.
a shit.
That's true. Yeah, it's true. Very good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the premise of this one, in the years since Home Alone 2, aka 1 year, because this movie's supposed to take place in the early 90s, even though everyone has cell phones.
Right.
Is fucking the parents have split.
Yeah.
The McAllisters are broken up. The kids are living with the mom. The dad is with like this wealthy socialite played by Joanna Going, who's also had a big TV career.
Yeah, I noticed her. Yeah. Yeah.
Very attractive young actress. Well, actually,
Mad.
she's in her 50s now. Still looks pretty good.
Mad Men and
Yeah, Spin City back in the day, I remember.
oh, all right.
Yeah, that's what I recognized her from. And you know, Kevin goes over there to stay with the dad for Christmas, and they're living in this ridiculous mansion. And fucking Marv and his wife Vera, they want to steal. Oh no, they don't want to steal anything. So they're having the royal family or something
Yeah.
over to stay for Christmas.
I never really figured what royal family.
Me neither.
Yeah.
They're British though, so there's something to do with England.
Right. Right.
And the little boy, they want to kidnap the royal son, who's like Kevin's age.
Yeah.
And you know, it's a big coincidence. Kevin and Marv find each other once more.
Mhm.
And you know, they rip the house apart. And there's a lot of subplots. We got to decide whether the lady that the dad's dating is a bitch or not. We've got
Yeah. That's true.
In the original, it was going to turn out she's not, like in the pilot.
Mm.
But then for this, they just made her evil so the parents could get back together at the end.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And also, Marv and Vera have an inside man in the mansion. Now, there are only 3 people in this mansion. So it's one of them. It's the dad's girlfriend. It's the butler who they're hitting you over the head with. This is the villain, so it can't be him.
Right.
And then it's the nice maid, and she's so nice, and Kevin tells her, "You'd be a great mom." And so she's definitely the villain. Did you guess it?
Yeah.
Me too. That's a big twist at one point. And she also turns out to be Marv's mom.
Right. Yeah.
French
yeah.
Stewart's mom.
French Stewart.
Yeah. And
The great French Stewart.
yeah, he's all over the place in this movie.
Yeah. Everything about this is unwatchable, but he's up there.
This is unwatchable. I'm going to give you that. And I'm going to go so far as to say that I was able to get through 3 and 5 kind of painlessly.
Mm-hmm.
This was hard to get through.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Now, it is a direct sequel, so I did enjoy any time there were, like, nods to the first 2.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the movie, like, the mom's, like, going out, and she doesn't know what to do about Kevin, and Kevin goes, "I'll stay home alone. I've done it before."
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's
How
right.
about that?
Yeah. It was a good, subtle throwback line.
It was. And then he's real bummed about, you know, the family being split up on Christmas, and he says this is definitely going to be the worst Christmas ever. And I'm thinking, hey, how about those 2 times you were almost murdered?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
But he's another pint-sized runt.
He is.
Who I'm trying to figure out, like you said, the chronology again. Now the last one wasn't Kevin, but this one is Kevin, and
Now,
it takes place.
It's very weird. The first movie is from 1990, takes place in 1990. The second movie comes out in 92. They say that it's been a year since the events of the first movie, so we have to transpose the events of the second movie to 1991.
Right, correct.
Now we've got this fourth one. We're bringing Kevin back. He looks younger, but he's not.
Right.
And Buzz looks like fucking 10 years younger.
Yeah, true.
But I guess it takes place in 1992?
I guess we can assume that.
Or 93, maybe? Because the dad's been with this girl for like 7 months.
Yeah.
And they're already like engaged.
John Hurd and Catherine O'Hara.
No, John Hurd.
Yeah, no, I
and
know, I'm kidding.
Joanna Going.
But you also have to transpose that, because then in your head you're like, wait a minute, Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah.
God. Yeah.
Why is she so sad now? She handled shit pretty well in those first two.
Yeah. True.
So at first Kevin's having a real nice time at this mansion. You'll recall, because the mansion's pretty sweet. It's got this like remote control, and all you have to do for anything is like, hey, turn music on.
Right.
And
we get
comes
to.
on.
Am I conflating the two movies, or did we get to hear James Brown? I Feel Good.
You better believe it. He's dancing and lip syncing to that "I Feel Good" for a good 3 minutes of this movie.
Anytime you get one of those sequences, you're in shaky waters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's another musical montage where they're trimming the tree.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed them taking a selfie with a Polaroid camera. Early selfie.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
It's 92. It's 93.
Sure.
92. What kind of space-time continuum was this movie made in?
Okay, so the burglars show up. I gotta say, right off the bat, Marv and Vera, and they come in. Kevin gets them with a sweet trap. He floods the house entirely.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So the entire house is in like 3 feet deep water, basically.
Yeah.
No, maybe not that much, but like definitely at least a foot.
Oh, it's ruined.
Yeah, the house is destroyed. And I'm telling you, this drives me nuts. Because these 3 movies, the kids are just ruining the houses.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it. And then the lady comes home, freaks out, understandably. We're supposed to think she's a bitch. He flooded this house.
Right. Well, how would you react?
I'd fucking murder this kid. She lets him stay there.
Yeah, it's true.
I'd be going to jail if that happened.
Yeah.
Because I'd be fucking decapitating Kevin McAllister. I'd be right out in the back getting my fucking garden shears. And I'm telling you, man, then all of a sudden we cut to the house looks immaculate. Like nothing happened. And I'm
That's true.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, how much time passed? And the dad says to Kevin, you just can't let what happened yesterday happen again.
They have a good cleanup crew there.
They really do.
It's like the City Field people came in from, a rain out and just came there and took care of it.
Yeah.
Or I guess we're in Chicago, so maybe the White Sox. But, yeah.
All right, let's talk traps. Did you like any of the traps?
You are clinging at straws, man.
There's a nut shot. And he destroys a window.
Oh, don't you mean a mirror?
Oh, leave me alone.
Yeah, the traps are just more of the same, aren't they? I mean, really?
Yeah, I guess.
But go ahead, tell me some of yours.
I don't care. I did like that he locked the butler in the walk-in freezer, And then the butler resurfaced later in the movie as an ice sculpture.
Yeah, that was a strange thing for him to do to that butler.
He's sick in this movie.
Yeah, I agree.
He might be even sicker than in the second one.
Yeah, he might be. You're right.
And I have evidence for this.
Okay.
Because the burglars, he scares them away.
Right.
They get away. And then the next day's Christmas. He's got shit tons of presents. The dad goes out for a bit with his lady. So this is like the only time in the movie Kevin's home alone, and he's not. The fucking maid and butler are there.
True.
God damn, I hate this movie.
Yeah.
And Kevin decides, well, it's Christmas. The burglars will probably come back. I'll set some traps. This kid in this movie, it's so ingrained in his mind to set traps for criminals that he has no evidence criminals are coming back that day or any other day, and the fucker's setting traps.
Yeah, that's true. He's sociopathic, man. That's all there is to it. I mean, by any psychiatrist's standpoint, this kid needs serious counseling.
Yeah, so he captures these fucks. He reunites his parents, and he even manages to get the Royals to stay over at the McAllister household instead of this lady's.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he like befriends. He becomes quick friends with the royal kid.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And that's the movie.
Yeah, it was great. It was a good experience. So now you tell me you saw Little of Five, huh?
I watched the whole thing.
Jeez.
Wait, we have to grade this.
You are a masochist if I ever saw one.
Yeah.
1 star.
Yeah, me too.
This
is the worst movie we've done for the podcast.
Yeah, it is. It is. There's no doubt. Just nothing to cling to.
Nothing even close.
I mean, like Basic Instinct 2, or even in my opinion, like the worst Scream had something in it. You know, I mean, my God, Fletch Lives even had Chevy Chase.
Yep, Jason Goes to Hell.
Oh,
like 2 good deaths.
Yeah, I mean, there is just nothing. I'm going to give my LVP to the entire cast.
The cast? The cast is not the problem with this movie.
You want to go Rod Daniel?
I'm just going to go ABC. Why even commission a Home Alone pilot? What are you going to do week to week?
I'm right there. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, and I had no superhero count unless.
Wait, so that's my LVP. I don't have an MVP.
No, I don't either. So.
Wait, you got it. Well, who's the MVP?
Maybe Vera, because I liked seeing her from Gone Girl.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't mind Vera. I'm gonna go with Vera. Actually, you know who I'm gonna go with? I thought the lady who played the maid who had the heel turn late in the movie, I thought she was pretty good.
Okay.
I'll go with her.
That's kind.
Oh, no. Not even. The butler. I'm going to go with that dude, Eric Avery. I think he's a good actor.
Yeah, all right.
Is that his name,
all
Eric
right.
Avery? I feel like I keep calling people Eric today, and I'm never sure whether it's Eric. It was, though, this time. Okay.
All right, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, should I talk about Home Alone 5 a little bit?
If you feel like it, sure.
Now, Hank, I let you off on this one.
Sure.
I did not make you watch Home Alone 5, but I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
Home Alone, the Holiday Heist. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, this was a movie, TV movie, of course, directed by Peter Hewitt, who's had an actual career.
Okay.
And written by a couple of fellas, Aaron Ginsberg and Wade McIntyre. Now, it's 10 years after the original, November 25th, 2012. Not after the original, after the fucking last TV movie.
Okay.
And, so we're doing a 5th one, and listen, we're not airing them on ABC anymore. This is an ABC family movie.
Wow, so we're not even we're not even good enough to put it on the regular ABC.
That's right.
All right.
And this is a competently made movie.
Really?
Yeah, it's not good. It's very bad.
Yeah.
But it was a joy to watch after Home Alone 4, honestly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, Pete Hewitt is a guy who has actually made 2 movies that I like.
Can I guess what they are?
Sure. Do you have him up now or something?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. One of them, a movie that we will cover on this show.
Well, Garfield?
No, although we can cover Garfield. Garfield's pretty bad. He's mostly made kids movies in the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
But
Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
That's right. The second Bill and Ted movie, every bit as good as the first one.
I don't remember it at all.
It's very good. They meet the Grim Reaper.
Right, I do remember that.
Yeah, they go to hell.
I remember.
Yo, by the way, Bill and Ted go to hell in that movie more than Jason goes to hell in Jason Goes to Hell.
I believe you, because he doesn't go to hell, really. He just goes underneath the ground.
That's right.
The soil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I can see that Home Alone 5 does have a superhero count, Debbie Mazar.
Oh, what was she in?
Batman Forever.
That's true. She was Sugar, right?
Yeah.
Or no, she was Spice. Sugar
Right.
was 1995 Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
What could be
Look out.
better? 1999 Drew Barrymore, but that's about it.
Yeah.
All right, so I enjoyed The Borrowers with John Goodman.
Oh, okay. I never saw that.
Yeah, it's good. It's very British. It's a nice little movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he made Tom and Huck, which I saw in theaters with JTT. Thunderpants, which we used to make fun of at Barnes & Noble a lot. Remember that? That's like a kid with fart powers.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, this Pete Hewitt.
Does that have Ron from the Harry Potter movies in it? Hang on, I'm clicking on it.
I don't know, man. That sounds right.
No, I'm wrong. No, I'm right. He is in that.
Yeah, I thought
There he
so.
is. It's Ron from the Harry Potter movie. He's just farting. That's the whole movie.
That's. Is that pre-Harry Potter?
I believe it's simultaneous.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Bet he regrets that one.
Probably. I don't even think he acts anymore, that kid.
No?
No, I think he wasn't into it.
Hmm.
Anyway, Home Alone 5. It's got a great cast. I'm not even joking.
I see Malcolm McDowell's in
Malcolm, the villains are fantastic.
Uh-huh.
You got Malcolm McDowell as your head villain. And now what's great about Malcolm McDowell is he keeps getting splashed with gross stuff at the end of the movie,
Yeah.
but it's never Malcolm McDowell. You can tell it's like a stunt double, and then the next time we see Malcolm McDowell, his clothes are gross, but he never has anything on his face.
After enduring what I endured with Stanley Kubrick, I made a promise to myself to never let myself be humiliated on camera.
Especially not in Home Alone 5.
No.
You got
Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, you got Debbie
Home Alone
Mazar, who I'm a fan of. I think she's a good actress.
Yeah, I agree.
You got Eddie Steeples
I don't know.
as the first black person that's ever been in a Home Alone movie. And
That's a good point.
yeah. He's playing a burglar named Mr. Hughes, by the way, homage.
Oh.
And he's played by Eddie Steeples, who you might know him as the Crab Man from My Name Is Earl. If
No.
you've ever watched that show.
I've seen it before, but I don't remember that at all.
By the way, Ed Asner also in this movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And music. The fucking I'm going to talk about the music in this movie because John Williams goes away after that second one, and the music in 3 and 4 are garbage. And there's music all over 4. The music never shuts up.
Yeah. I was practically, well, I won't say I was begging for that John Williams score, but boy,
Yeah.
Didn't seem so bad.
No, but 5, the music is done by David Kittay, who also composed the music for the aforementioned Ghost World.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Huh.
Kittay. Now, the premise of this movie... See, I have you intrigued. Don't I? I have you intrigued when I
That's
say...
a strong word for
When I
it,
mention
yeah.
the cast, right?
Uh-huh.
And the composer and the director made a couple good movies.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the premise of Home Alone 5, this family moves from California to Maine because the mother got a VP position. We don't know VP of what.
Mm-hmm.
And they move into a new house, and there are rumors around the neighborhood that it's haunted. Okay?
Okay.
Now, they become very convinced that it's haunted. They think there are ghosts. Now, there was a bootlegger who lived here named, like, Dead Leg something. and supposedly in the middle of the night, you can hear his dead leg dragging against the ground.
This is just fucking unbelievable.
All
wow.
right?
All
And
right.
So the kid sets traps to catch the ghost. All right?
So now we're setting traps for ghosts.
We are.
Okay.
Meanwhile, the kid and his sister, there are 2 siblings, they don't want to participate in any Maine activities. They hate snow. They're
Yeah.
California kids.
Sure.
The kid, the boy, is obsessed with a video game called Dragons and Warriors, the most generic video game name ever. And he loves to play this video game online with a pal of his who's this fat ginger guy who's in college. All right?
Okay.
Now, the girl, who's this attractive teen named Alexa, I think she's not actually underage, so I could perv over her. So she's on her phone all the time. So that's what this movie's dealing with. Like, put
Right.
away your devices, right?
Oh,
Yeah. Get out and experience the world.
sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Now, the parents decide to leave the kids home alone, get it,
Yeah.
together, while they go to Ed Asner's Christmas party. Ed Asner's the new boss. At
Now,
this
would
job.
was Ed Asner alive when this was filmed?
Oh, yeah, he's all over this movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe he had passed.
No. Took that balloon house up to the sky.
Nice. It's the ghost of Ed Asner in this movie. Oh,
So
man.
these burglars, they decide to come in, and they're art thieves. That's why it's called the Holiday Heist, because this is an art heist. And in the basement, there's a secret doorway to what used to be a speakeasy during Prohibition. And in this speakeasy, first of all, Alexa gets trapped. So the kid's really home alone now.
Yeah.
And in there is a painting of, it's an old, undiscovered Edvard Munch painting
Oh,
that's worth millions of dollars.
sure.
All right?
Yeah.
Now, the kid starts to cotton on to that they're burglars. It's not ghosts.
Okay.
So he decides that he's going to reverse engineer these ghost traps to capture the burglars. And the burglars, they think the traps aren't from a kid, but are in fact the work of the ghost.
Wow.
So the most of the trap sequence of this movie, they think they're being attacked by a ghost. Until Malcolm McDowell
thinks this.
yeah.
Okay.
But then Malcolm McDowell finally gets eyes on that kid.
right.
All right? And
Wow.
I mean, that's basically it, man.
That sounds like a hell of an experience,
Yeah,
man.
he gets him. in the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah, of
The
course.
daughter gets kidnapped, and they, I mean, doesn't get, she gets saved, and all the criminals get trapped in that fucking, the speakeasy thing, and then the family gets like a $30,000 reward for for finding this Edvard Munch painting.
I think they should get a lot more than 30 grand.
I know, and it's a point of contention among the family for 1 second. But then the mom says, shopping spree for everyone. But you see, the kids have lost their lesson, and they just want to play outside in the snow.
Aw.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's it. That's
Oh.
Home Alone, the Holiday Heist.
Wow.
I'm going to give it 1 star. I'm going to give my MVP to Eddie Steeples, that guy from My Name is Earl.
Okay.
He's committing, and he's actually funny. Like, I laughed out loud 2 times watching
Whoa.
this, and both
Whoa.
of them were Eddie Steeples lines, and neither of them were funny lines. His delivery was just good.
Well, that's something.
Yeah.
I didn't crack a smile in 8 hours of this shit, so that's saying something. That's good.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'll
Hey.
give my LVP to Malcolm McDowell. Let yourself get splashed in the face, motherfuck.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
he's why should he?
He's just got yogurt on his coat the entire movie, but he managed to get it all off his face.
Oh man. So how on earth do we rank these?
I have my ranking, and I'll even go so far as to say my rankings are easy.
Okay.
All right? Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
It is so easy to me. It's 1, 2, 3, 5, 4.
Yeah, well, I didn't see 5, so I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Sure, that's what I would go to.
Yep. Boy, that was tough. That was a toughie.
That
But,
wasn't easy to get through.
But we did our job. We did our job.
We did, and we even were completists. I watched that 5th one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, the 4th one kind of wasn't really released in theaters, so we watched it anyway. I watched it anyway, so it's sort of great.
That's true. We weren't totally obligated.
No.
We only really had to do 1, 2, 3.
Right.
Yeah.
I think going forward that would be wise, but
No, there's a couple of straight to DVDs that I want to do.
yeah.
I want to do those Uncle Eddie vacation movies.
Right.
Yeah.
Starship Troopers, I guess, right?
Yeah. K-9 2. I want to do the Kindergarten Cop 2 with Dolph Lundgren.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
I want to do Jingle All the Way 2 with Larry the Cable Guy.
Right.